Alright, hi, welcome back to Single Player Party. I am here with this week's roundup of board games that can be played solo that are currently seeking crowdfunding. So I'm here to let you know. Links below take you directly to what you need. You don't even need to watch me talk. You can just click on them, or you can click the timestamp and watch me talk about certain specific ones. That's the whole goal of this show. I waited till Thursday on this one to see if there'd be a ramp up of maybe a little bit more Kickstarters and stuff. It is going to the slow time. Monday was like not much going on. Tuesday we got hit with some heavies. We knew some of them were coming. I did let you guys know about Too Many Bones. Hopefully you followed along on GameFound because you got a little bit of a bonus. Now I don't believe in those, and I don't like the early stuff. This one I was hit with tons and tons and tons of advertising on Facebook, YouTube, anywhere I follow them. They let me know about it, so I feel like if you missed out on that early piece, it was almost like missing out on the campaign, like complaining about missing on a campaign completely, like asking for ones for a long time ago. I mean, there's ample time. So it is up. We've got Unbreakable for Too Many Bones. This is a very cool looking Kickstarter. They say it's going to be the last one of their main series. So they had, if you're unfamiliar with Too Many Bones, it's probably one of the most high quality board games ever made. It is for, I believe the base game is 1 to 4 people. I don't know if you can rock with more than 4. There are more characters more gear locks. The characters are called gear locks. More gear locks to buy. You can get like certain ones standalone, or their second standalone offering in this series was called Undertow, which was a little bit cheaper. It came with 2 less gear locks and just more content progressing the story. They did a mini expansion that offered a campaign mode. I think it's the Rage of Tyranny. This is adding another standalone game comparable to Undertow. This one's called Unbreakable. This one has Rage of Tyranny and 12 days or 40 nights and something. The other one had 40 days in Delanor. I believe that's what it was called. And so you got to come to the page. There's so much to click on. Just the game is like high quality. You've got like the mats with the stitching. You've got the dice. The chips are high quality. All the cards are plastic, which means they're like, you don't need to sleeve them. They're like the most durable cards there are in the world. So this is my number one to lead with. I told you guys about following ahead of time, and I'm hoping this will be something that I can back. I don't have any pieces of this game. It's been way too expensive for me to get in on, but this is like basically an imprint, a game that's imprint, but it's like a grail game for me. So don't have it, but hoping to get the base game as soon as I can afford it. This is so much content on this page. This is going to be the big one. If you are backing anything currently, maybe in October, this was probably what you were waiting for, probably what you're going to go for. They do have this one pledge level, so you can save like $20. Flat rate shipping, I think the shipping's like $15 here in the US. Just flat rate for, it's going to be a heavy box, a big heavy box. There's so much value built into the way that they've nailed their flat rate shipping. I mean, another game like this, if it was a smaller company that was trying to push out this much content, this many heavy boxes, they would have to charge you like $30 or $40 to ship this stuff. So not only are you going to save $20 off of this Unbreakable gameplay, you got to factor in it's actually saving like another $20 or $30 on shipping. And then right here you can get into the base game for $85. So, and that's in line with all the games we play. This is what I still need to pick up is the base game. And then, so yeah, Daylore. So 40 days in Daylore. And now I think it's 40, it was up in this one. 40 waves of Daylore. So not nights, waves. So you can get just enough pledge level, $675. That's amazing. And then all these little boxes are like the extra, a lot of these are the extra gear locks and stuff. And then the splice and dice expansion. And then here's the ultimate, $1,100. I mean, the savings is good. You're going to save, 20%. I mean, when you factor it that way, I think it's roughly 20%. Yeah, 20% off. That's a pretty good deal. And flat rate shipping. If you get all that for $15 for ship, that's nuts. That's absolutely nuts. But the big thing here is this box in the middle here, this trove chest that people have been clamoring for. So I'm probably not telling most of you anything you haven't already heard before. This is a no-brainer. If this was on your radar, you're already backing it. If you are new to this and I'm the one showing you, please comment below. Please let me know if I'm the first person who showed you this. Just out of curiosity, I'd like to know that. That would be super cool. So I'm going to stay on GameFound for 2 more. So that was Unbreakable. I think if you've got the funds, it's an insta-back for solo gamers. Too Many Bones is ranked 40th on Board Game Geek. I mean, it's top 100 game period. Like that, it's not going to stay at 40. It's going to go up a little, down a little, whatever. But a solid game. It doesn't get more solid than that, really. This company is still trying to and I mentioned that I would late back the ISS Vanguard. This is the Awakened Realms. They made the ISS Vanguard. They are doing this Lords of Ragnarok. The miniatures on this are super cool, like this crazy fusion of like tech and nature. So I really like the way this looks. They do, for what they produce, I think they give you a huge bang for your buck. So $115 is not cheap, but you get that base game and you get the stretch goals. So you get 2 boxes. So it's 2 games in one. I mean, if you go into a store and buy any one of these games, $60 minimum for a game with this kind of like content and what's included in here. $60 minimum if you're lucky. And so if you view the stretch goals, how much they add to the game, it's like 2 games in one, and you're getting, I feel like you're getting the deal there, probably in the exclusivity of the stretch goals. A lot of the times they tend to be just timed, or just through these campaigns. You're getting those, which is a good deal. But it says right there like an extra €100 value. I believe it. I mean, the base game, it is going to still cost $99. So you get the $99 value game, so it's doubling up on the content, basically. So you could look at it as 50% off. You can look at it as 2, like, big $60 games that you're getting here. And, you've got to throw your money in as a gamble. But saying that for this really isn't going to be a gamble. I mean, you've seen the games that these guys produce. Let me see if I can get down to... just take a minute and look through this page at everything that they throw in here. These runes are cool. I'm playing a lot of Skyrim right now, and this is giving me some cool Skyrim feels. So when you look at what these guys have produced, it's like a no-brainer. Nemesis, Tainted Grail, This War of Mine, Lords of Hollis. Tainted Grail is one of my Grail games. I haven't got that yet, but I mean, they've already delivered bangers, so there it is. I mean, I don't feel like grabbing this one is a gamble at all. It's as much as a gamble as anything else is right now with COVID and manufacturing and shipping and delivering, but I don't think you're taking a risk above things outside of their control. So And they're doing cool things with the minis. I don't know if I didn't search this campaign. They do that. They were doing that sun drop thing where I think this one, that one right there on display is like that sun drop look, kind of like golden-y. It's cool. I mean, especially if you're like me and you don't get around to painting your miniatures. You just got a cool looking miniature already. So if you missed out on Nemesis or Tainted Grail, any of that stuff that you liked, maybe you didn't know that. Maybe I'm letting you know. So check that one out. This one I grabbed. It's got a cool little vibe to it. I like the graphic design on this. I don't even want to try to say the word. I'm terrible with this. Pachamama. Blew it. Yeah. But it's single player. It's on GameFound. They did Magic Maze, which was kind of, I haven't gotten to play that yet, but that was on my solo play short list of like stuff when I can finally get around to playing it. Something, I think I have it on a wish list on one of the websites, board game websites. So that one would be one I pick up down the road when I made room. Yeah, cool little. I like the theme. I like the art style. This one's is an interesting one, but it is currently funding. So like I always say, go over to GameFound. There's lots of games that are still in Pledge Manager. They don't have a lot of games running at one time. It's not like the 60 to 100 things that are on Kickstarter currently all at one time. They do a couple here and there, like less than a handful, and then they go into the Pledge Manager, which I feel like depends on manufacturing, but can last for like a long time. So now we head over to Kickstarter, and we've got Trouble in Folklore Falls, a play-at-home puzzle. I believe this one they're gonna mail you some packets. Yeah. So if you like this, I like the noir fantasy in so much as like it looks like they're pulling like Three Blind Mice. They're gonna pull from like children's stuff. This one's interesting. This one looks cool. I'm gonna have me remind myself on that one. Looks expensive because it's over $100 per person. So I don't know if they have just a couple big backers or what they got going on funding wise. Because look, just get one episode. It was $30. The whole season is over $100. Okay, so that jives in line with why there's so few backers with so much money. No red flags here. I mean, if that's what they're gonna cost, they got a long time to go. They're already triple funded. You've got 217. This number might double or triple by the time it's over. If you're looking for something that might be a murder mystery, a escape room style puzzle solver, Trouble in Folklore Falls. Next, I've got Curiosity, a cat-themed cooperative deck building tabletop campaign. It's a mouthful, but more deck builders. I don't know how this one feels. I feel like some of the other ones had a little bit of a better upfront display. I do like this. The components layout, I feel like it's giving me, the vibes I need. So, looks like a little bit of a, the graphic design I'd say is, not super strong on this. I like the card. I like the way the card looks. But, it's a deck builder. I think deck builders are cool when they add elements like this. So, it's not the first thing they've created. About to be funded with 80 backers, 23 days to go, so it's going to be funded. If you're looking for another deck builder, this could be one for you to jump in on. DreamWeavers. This one looks like they're trying to do something interesting thematically and like with kind of like a unique board. They're drawing me in with the artwork. I think the artwork and the graphic design look very professional, very clean. This is gorgeous. So if you're looking just for a really pretty game, this one's already pulling you in with that. The game board looks interesting. The cards look fantastic. I don't know how it's going to play because this is your cursory look. I'm not deep diving into a lot of these yet. Still need to know if I'm going to switch to that style. Or maybe I would just link to everything I find, but then I can just grab and talk about like one or two things and we can deep dive. If you watch Bauer's Game Corner, he's like once a week or so, he's going and just doing a live stream of analyzing something that's currently on Kickstarter. That was kind of an idea I kicked around a while back, but I don't want to be too critical. I want to be constructive. And so on these, I'm pointing out obvious things that you guys would already know, like how good the graphic design is or not. And to me, I think it speaks volumes on what they're, no matter who's doing it in the business. So you've still got to be your own art director. I'm not an artist, and when I did We Are Dead, I hired an artist who worked on the Simpsons TV show, and the guy who did the colors and cleanup work on the cards, he's been with Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network. I don't even know where he's at now. His resume is tons and tons and tons of kid shows, and because I knew they'd be able to deliver the art, and so I'd give them crappy stick figures and they would turn it into awesomeness. And so I knew kind of what I wanted, and then you can't settle for bad art and bad graphic design. It's just a fact of the industry, is you're just not going to attract people to your game. So you've got gameplay is king, but how are you going to get somebody to play your game when they don't want to look at it? So this one's a looker. For this one was, I believe, one of the ones that started on Tuesday, and it looks like they only picked up a quarter of their funding now in the first 48 hours. So this one could struggle, and I don't know what it is. They might have some shipping issues at the bottom. If this one interests you, take a look at it. If you back it, let me know in the comments below. If you found a red flag or something you didn't want to back it with, also comment about that below. I'd really appreciate it. So this one I think is on the borderline whether it's going to fund or not. This one could definitely go either way based on the statistics that are out right now. This one might be a good candidate to cancel and relaunch, depending on how heavy they needed to go into stretch goals. So that's another thing that a developer needs to think about and backers need to think about. So if there's no stretch goals and stuff, you may not be interested in backing for the campaign. That is one of the incentives that draws you in. However, if a game is barely going to fund, you don't really, and you want to get in on it, you don't care if there's stretch goals. If there were stretch goals and you're not going to get to them, you're going to be disappointed that content we didn't achieve that content. But if you just want the game, it can barely fund, and you're stoked because you're going to get the game. You got to help fund it, and you didn't feel like you missed out on anything. And what's cool about snatching up some that barely fund is typically they have to restrict themselves to a smaller print run, and you might end up with a rare game. So I don't think a lot of people think that way, and you shouldn't think about that, like what the rarity of the game, but you should think about that in the fact that I do want this, and it might be hard for me to get later, and I don't want to have to pay a premium. So if something's barely going to fund and it's not reliant heavily on stretch goals, they may have messed up, and that stretch goals would have helped the campaign explode a lot, and you're missing out on content. But a lot of times, people are packing in what they're packing into the game, and it is what it is. And so if something's barely going to fund, like this may barely fund, and there's no stretch goals, that might be super cool. Now I'm like want to cruise down here and see like how dependent it was on. This is a long campaign. I'm wondering how much. Yeah, they're definitely doing stretch goals because it says it's included. I just saw it included in something. So yeah, I mean they're doing an expansion. They want to upgrade the components and add more content. So custom insert, wooden essence. These aren't really like, I mean, they're nice. I mean, you can make a beautiful game more beautiful with this kind of stuff, but this one doesn't look like it's gonna be like adding another miniature, adding all these big elements for the stretch goals. So if it barely funds, this could be okay. I have a feeling this is gonna be a cancel and relaunch, which isn't bad. I mean, this looks like a game that will come out eventually. Maybe it'll get picked up by a publisher. There definitely looks to be something cool going on here, so that's why I want to spend so much time talking about it. So here we have Groove, and this is from the people who made Orchard. So just a solid single-player small game that is beloved. 1,400 backers, short campaign. They're already at $30,000. Just come and get Grove. It's not very expensive. So I will probably be backing for this one because I did not back for Orchard. It's $15. So and got a great following, great reviews. That one's definitely a no-brainer. And then Rocket Cats. 1 to 13 players, a very random number there. So their inspiration is like the Worms games. Kind of interesting. So more cat stuff, tongue in cheek. The boards look pretty. The game boards are what they are. They solo. It comes with 10 solo AI cards. That's pretty cool. So they got this. You'll love this game F thing, and it's on the tabletop simulator. They've got videos on how to play. This is just gonna be up to your taste. Do you like cats, and do you like cats doing silly stuff? If you do, you're probably into this. And if you don't want that, it's probably too much of a gamble. But it's already funded with only 143 people, so I don't know what that speaks to the quality or how many they're going to produce, how cheaply, but it looks like it's moving forward. So Rocket Cats. For Glory, this one's blowing up too. So a lot of these like gladiatorial Roman games. This is for the expansion too, so this game just looks cool. So if you're bloodthirsty, there's a lot going on here. Get in the Coliseum and start wrecking people. Become a champion of the arena. I like this art a lot. So this one looks cool. I think this one is if you're watching this, you're probably already backing it. So solid, absolutely solid. Kabula. I know you came here just for how I pronounce things. Come on. I don't know. It's got a content advisory for crude adult humor. This looks like a serious game, but then it's got crude humor. So Jessica the confused vegan. That's a hero. Zach the professional nerd. Clayton the spineless politician, and Isolde the lost mother. I'm cracking up over here. Maybe a humorous adventure game is just what we needed. Harry Blade. Hashtags. I don't know if I like hashtags in my fantasy setting. So, it's about a third funded. Couple days in. 143 backers. This one could go either way. Italy. Alright. I'm wondering how well the humor translates. This one's a pass for me. I'm confused by it. I mean, I do feel like there's room for this in the space, but I don't know. I think it's gonna squeak by if it funds, and I feel like if you're gonna have a board game that's about the laughs, you gotta make me laugh right away, and maybe a flip off finger tail thing made you chuckle, and you're in. That's cool. Then I saw these little tokens. I'm like, kind of pulled me out of it right away. Like, just got sucked right out. Okay. All right. Kabula. This one looks really cool. Kind of reminds me of like Marquee. I like the art style on this. Orange shall overcome the Dutch resistance of World War II. So I really like the art style on this. This just looks awesome. So I would like to back this game. About to fund. I can't afford this one, but this one would be kind of a yeah. This one looks like it's gonna be really good. Like really good. So this might be one of those ones that ends up being a small print game that you're bummed you missed out on. It takes a long time it's gonna get restocked, but it's gonna take a long time. I can see that with this one. Wow, this thing just came out and exploded all over the place. Stone Sword Games. I need to see what else they made. Huh. Nothing major. Hogs of War. This game looks cool though. Samurai ninjas. Senjutsu. Battle for Japan. The miniatures look amazing. So if you are looking for that samurai game, look at these cherry blossom petals falling. The box art is beautiful. The miniatures look good. The snow battlefield, gotta admit, it looks pretty bland. I don't really like the battlefield stuff. It makes me wonder how you're gonna do the fights solo, but game looks cool. I mean, it got a lot of backers. It's up to it's gonna be by the time you see this, 9,000, well past 9,000, almost $1 million. It's 10,000% funded. This one looks really cool, and if you're watching this, you probably are already backing this one. I'm getting pretty blasted with the marketing for this one right now, which is good because I wanted to come and see it for sure. Downtown Chase, halfway to being funded with only 43 backers. Looks kind of like a Grand Theft Auto kind of thing. Semi-cooperative, but I swear I saw it was 1 to 4 players. So I don't know how you handle the semi-co-op aspect when it's got the single player element, but if you're looking for like a Grand Theft Auto kind of thing in a board game style, I feel like this is probably it. Looks cool, and has a very good chance of funding. Snack Time looks like a roll and write, 1 to infinite players. Looks like it's tentacle monsters eating some people. I like the color scheme, and I like this art. Very like 90s Nickelodeon kind of, but for like adults. I do like that. And I believe these sheets, no, those are all the same. I thought I saw somewhere where the sheets kind of like were different. But it's cool to have like the cards interact with like the way you're gonna place things on the sheet. I do like that. I think that, you know, roll and writes are gonna keep evolving and they're getting more and more dynamic. So this looks like it'd be a cool one to get involved in. It's already funded, 131 backers. Roll and writes. This is a big one right now for that. I'm not sure if it's, by the time you see this, if there's still gonna be the early bird bonus for this one. See how much time there's left. 36 hours to go, so I should have this up tonight, which would be the morning of Friday, October 22nd, and then this will still have maybe like 24 hours left to get into this 3-day early bird bonus. I don't like that stuff. I don't know if it's going to be for purchase as a smallish add-on in addition to that. It just looks like it's some promo achievement cards. You know, just throw those in for everybody. Come on. I mean, I don't think that piece is why this thing funded right away. I really don't. And you were probably going to hit your goal as soon as you launched. Without that, just give it to everybody. Or be charging a very small, like $5 for those cards for the people that want it. That, you know, just came a little late. But you guys are going to hear me harp about that one every single time. All right, well, that's it for this week. Go back, Undertow. And I think the other thing that was probably highest on my list would be, if you're in the miniatures games, the Lords of Ragnarok and the Senjutsu are probably no-brainers for you. Snack Time if you're looking for the roll and write. Rocket Cats if you want silly cats. DreamWeavers if you want to get on just like a gorgeous looking board game. For Glory if you're looking for that arena guts and blood. And I think the one that everybody is gonna have to pick up is Grove. I think Grove will be really good. So my top two this week were Too Many Bones and Grove. So how's that for some stuff? No honorable mentions. I didn't see anything that was like multiplayer that really stood out to me. There's like dice and stuff for accessories. Nothing. I didn't see anything that was as crazy as the ones from last week. If you're looking still to fund things that I was covered last week, remember you can go back and watch last week's, and almost all of those items will still be up on Kickstarter because that was only new stuff as of last week. So if you catch one of these, I'm talking about these the week they come out. So usually the fastest campaigns are 2 weeks. You still have that one more week to kind of get involved, hopefully. Otherwise, a lot of them are 30-day campaigns, and you'll still be able to get in on them. So I think the accessories from last week speak enough for this week, with the shaky dice slotted thing, and then the build your own dice tower drop-in arena that also works as a card hand holder. So those were cool. But yeah, so Unbreakable and Grove, I think, are the ones for this week that I'm really gonna say, hey, grab those. Anyways, thanks, and I'll see you next week.